What's up, pageant patrons? This is your boy Isaac with Hi JR Scenes. If you are a subscriber or you comment on all of my videos, let me say thank you for your support and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, consider liking and subscribing. All right, pageant patrons, you requested this, and so I am going to give you my review of a couple of names that kept popping up in my comments. The first one is Stacey Gabriel. Stacey Gabriel, she's 26 years old. She is 5'6", and she is Miss Universe Philippines Cainta 2024. She was second runner-up in 2022 Bining Bining Pilipinas. And as I watched her, I did watch her, the questioning, and I really did like her. She's articulate, and looks like, according to a couple of articles I read, that she battled depression. And I can tell you right now what a wonderful story that could possibly be. I don't know all of the details of the story, but anytime someone battles something and they are seen as an overcomer, that is always a good story. There's two comments that she made that I really did like. She said, "If it's not good, God's not done." And then the other quote that she made was that she wants to be a vessel through which God can show his love. And I hope those aren't just pageant padding answers, and I hope that she really believes that, because those are actually some powerful statements that a lot of people believe in. And I think that she could possibly be a good candidate. I'm not 100% sold on her. Part of the reason is, again, I'm thinking about, can she compete against the Latino ladies? And she's 5'6", so that really doesn't have anything to do with it, maybe. But if she's a powerful speaker, then that she can overcome that. But height always helps. But that's not even a big issue. I didn't get that wow factor from her. I know she's very popular, but I personally just did not get a wow factor from her. And again, she's articulate, gorgeous, and I think that, it's a possibility that she's going to do well. Or people may see her as just the average Filipina. Let me know what you guys think, because again, I'm all the way over here in the States, so the way that I kind of view things might be a little bit different. And I'm also thinking, mainly, I just said it, that I'm also thinking about the fact, can she compete against the Latinas, because it's going to be held in Mexico. And y'all already know that those Latinas, they are going to be on point. The second queen that kept popping up in my comments is Kris Tiffany Janson, and hopefully I said her name correctly. She is 32. She's a model and an actress. She is 5'8", and she has been crowned Miss Universe Philippines Cebu 2024. Her advocacy is going to looks like she wants to help survivors of domestic abuse. Sort of her pageant background: in 2020, she was Miss Philippines Earth Air, and 2014, she was second runner-up Miss Intercontinental. Miss Intercontinental pageant. And so I listened to her Q&A, and it was okay. I mean, she's gorgeous. I mean, and she's a former queen, so she's going to understand the pressures that it's going to take, the behind the scenes pressures that a lot of us don't see. So she's going to be good on stage. She's an actress, she's a model, and also she's 32. So she is a little bit more mature than some of the other candidates. And really, at 32, being an actress and a model, she's already settled. She knows how to answer questions. So it's just going to be interesting to see how she does. The third queen that I'm going to talk about is McGarry. She is 34 years old, and she was appointed Miss Universe Philippines Taguig 2024. She's 5'11". As you well know, that height is definitely going to help her over in Mexico. She was Miss New Jersey USA 2008, Mutaya ng Filipinas 2010, Miss Intercontinental 2010, Top Model of the World in 2010, Bining Bining Filipinas 2015, Miss Intercontinental 2015. She has competed in all of those pageants. So she is very acquainted with the pageant world. I think she's coming back this year because Miss Universe has lifted the age restrictions, and so did Kris Janson. Both of those, again, they're over 30. And so with the restrictions being lifted, they can compete this year. So as I watched her, again, she's going to be very poised. Again, she is, in her mid-30s. And so at this point in her career, that's what I would expect from her, is to be poised, is to be able to answer those questions, on the spot like that, and not really, and be comfortable in the spotlight. So as they were shooting those questions to her, I had no doubt that she was going to answer them well. And she talked about how she has a team assembled around her and how she wants to be the best. So she already knows how to answer the questions. And I don't want to say this to be rude, but it's simply there's not a spark there. There wasn't anything there, and again, I'm talking about this strictly I'm all the way over here in the States. So as far as knowing how popular she is in the Philippines, I would know that. I mean, I see a bunch of videos, but as I watched her, she's so poised, she's so relaxed that I really don't see a spark. And you may think that that's crazy, but with some of these contestants, you can really see there is a bit of eagerness. There is this spark that they want to do well. Maybe they have something to prove. This is where I say the Philippines, they're going to have to figure out what they want to do. Because you have somebody, and again, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to disparage her in any way. I am not. She sounds just like, she sounds like she could be in any pageant because she's had so much training. And on top of that, she has had more life experience. And so she's going to sound better. And so also with Kris Janson, same thing. They're in their 30s. So my expectation is that they should be very confident with themselves. They should be able to answer questions. They're actresses and so they know how to be in the spotlight. Models, that's the word I was looking for, models. And so they know how to proceed in the spotlight. How does that compare with someone like an Alexi Brooks, who's right now, she's getting all the hype? Or a Atisa Manalo. She's a little bit younger, but she still has a little bit of a pageant background. And so that's why I say the Philippines is going to have to figure out what they want to do, because if you have somebody that's in their 30s, that's well connected, that is secure with themselves, how can you compete with a 22-year-old who is just really starting life, still trying to figure things out? How do you measure that? Which one is better for you, or for your competition? And so for me, on the outside looking in, and I've only been doing pageants since last year, I just with some of these candidates that have so much experience, I just don't see a spark. I see popularity. I see a lot of people that like them. And then I see someone like an Alexi Brooks. She is popular in the sports realm, so she's using that to help her in the pageant realm. Don't have a problem with that. That's actually a good thing to do. But then you have these dark horses that we always talk about. And I still talk about Lorraine Ojimba. She's not as popular, but can she compete with any of these women? The answer is yes. Can Alexi Brooks compete? I'm watching more of her, and she's changing a little bit. And so, will my opinion about her change? It might change. It probably is going to change, because she's going to get better. She is. There is just no doubt, because she wants to win. And I'm loving it. I still say, though, the Philippines, the Miss Universe Philippines, they are going to have a tough time this year. It is going to be extremely difficult. You have veterans that are there, and you have these newcomers that are really good. And for some of them, this is their first pageant. I am excited to see the direction that this is going to take. I'm excited to see how well the Philippines does in Mexico. What delegate will they send over there? So, out of these three, out of Stacey Gabriel, Kris Janson, and Christy McGarry, I'm gonna have to go with Christy McGarry. And it is because she is so poised, and she is very professional. She's very elegant. I mean, she's gorgeous. So out of these three, I'm gonna have to go with her. How will that compare against my favorite, or one of my favorites, I'll say. One of my favorites, Atisa Manalo, or a Lexi Brooks, or a Lorraine Ojimba? It's a toss-up because you have inexperience or very little experience versus very experienced. So if the Philippines is looking for something brand new, will you pick someone that's more experienced, that can handle being on stage, or will you pick somebody that you're going to have to train and get them up to a certain level? It's going to be interesting to see. So out of those three, Christy McGarry is going to be my favorite. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around and listening to my opinion. I really do appreciate it. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. But in either case, give me a like. I appreciate it.